innovation and ingenuity for impact, and for his innovativeness and unwavering dedication to service, Warrant Officer Class 1 Kalokenu is hereby honorably recognized. Let's extend a round of applause to Warrant Officer 1 Kalokenu for his excellence in innovations. (106,597), Warrant Officer Class 2 Newton Gregory Lungaho, Kenya Air Force. Warrant Officer Lungaho excelled in environmental stewardship and innovativeness, and for his outstanding leadership, technical skills, and commitment to excellence, Warrant Officer Class 2 Lungaho is hereby honorably recognized. Let's extend a round of applause to Warrant Officer Class 2 Newton Gregory Lungaho. (35877), Sergeant Bernard Kibet Rono, Kenya Navy. Sergeant Bernard Rono excelled in disaster and flood rescue operations, and for his exceptional professionalism and outstanding devotion to service, Sergeant Rono is hereby honorably recognized. Let's extend a round of applause to Sergeant Bernard Kibet Rono from Kenya Navy. 136718, Corporal Charles Otieno Okello, Kenya Navy. Corporal Okello excelled in innovativeness and exceptional craftsmanship, and for demonstrating outstanding initiative and a strong sense of responsibility, Corporal Okello is hereby honorably recognized. Let's extend a round of applause to Corporal Charles Otieno Okello. 163186, Corporal Boniface Mushiri, Kenya Army. Your Excellency is currently on international duty with the Harambee Stars, and as such, the award will be received on his behalf by his officer commanding, Major Amos Ouko, Kenya Army. Corporal Mushiri excelled in football, serving as Ulinzi Football Club captain and representing Kenya in the recently concluded 2024 CHAN tournament. For his outstanding discipline, commitment, and exemplary performance in representing Kenya and KDF in football, Corporal Mushiri is hereby honorably recognized. Let's once more extend a round of applause to Corporal Mushiri. Your Excellency, that marks the end of the special honors and awards. May I kindly request, sir, you take your seat. Your Excellency, it is now my profound privilege and honor to invite the Chief of Defense Forces, General Charles Kariri, to graciously lead us through this part of the program. CDF, sir.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of the Kenya Defence Forces, our Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Defence, Governor of Sinkisu County, our Cabinet Secretary, VCDF, service commanders, general officers, our veterans, and in this case, Your Excellency, allow me to recognize the presence of two former Chiefs of General Staff, General Daudi Tonje and General Jeremiah Kianga. All retired generals, officers, warrant officers, and service members, askari wote, wageni wetu na familia zetu, itifaki yote ikihudhuriwa. Your Excellency, it is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to this year's KDF Day celebration, which is going to be a special one. Today, you have joined us, adorned in the official Commander-in-Chief regalia, and we really appreciate. Na hakika askari wote wamefurahia. Mmefurahia? Askari wote mmefurahia? So, Your Excellency, this day, other than us giving an opportunity to reflect on our past, present, and future aspiration, it is critically about honoring our fallen heroes and those that have paid the ultimate price and sacrifice in the service of their country, plus the families that they leave behind. The gallant men and women who paid this price in defense of our republic deserve this commemoration. Their courage, sacrifice, and devotion to duty continue to inspire all of us that wear the uniform. Your Excellency, no unit of KDF has made greater sacrifice than this great unit that was established by General Pande as the first commanding officer, and those generals and officers and service members that have served in its ranks. It is why we have honored them by hosting these celebrations here at Moi Barracks. We therefore honor those gallant soldiers and their families. Your Excellency, this year's theme for this occasion is enhancing a soldier-centric approach towards mission readiness for national security and development. And it reminds us that our greatest strength lies in the well-being and readiness of each and every soldier. A mission-ready force begins with a motivated, empowered, and well-supported service personnel, both physically, mentally, professionally, and socially. Your Excellency, as we mark this day, we express our sincere appreciation to you and to your government for the unwavering support extended to the Kenya Defence Forces in many ways, but I pick out equipment modernization, housing, and medical services as the critical pathways to our mission readiness, which you have supported us very, very generously. These interventions will significantly enhance our operational capability, improve welfare, and strengthen morale across all ranks. Your Excellency, KDF remains firmly focused on its core mandate, that is defending and protecting sovereignty and territorial integrity of this republic. In today's complex and dynamic security environment, we continue to strengthen adopting multi-agency approach to national security operations and nation building working closely with other institutions of government to safeguard our country, contribute to peace, prosperity, and development. To this end, I wish to recognize the civilian arm of the ministry, headed by our Chief of Defense Forces, Honorable Soipan Tuya, the PS and the entire component, that are our key bridge to government and other agencies, and also ensuring that every policy direction is followed through and implemented through us. The KDF Foundation rests on loyalty, integrity, professionalism, and service to duty. And that is service to the nation before self. I need to emphasize that. Service before self. We continue to uphold our proud tradition, Your Excellency, of being apolitical and guided solely by our constitutional duty and mandate, and commitment to the people of Kenya. We also recognize the centrality of our families in sustaining a mission readiness force. Behind every uniform stands a families whose love, support, and sacrifice enable our soldiers to serve with courage and focus. We honor them today as an integral part of the defense community. Your Excellency, on behalf of the entire Kenya Defense Forces, I reaffirm our unwavering dedication to duty, discipline, and service to our nation. Allow me to acknowledge for these celebrations the meticulous preparations that have been put in place, and I thank the Commander Kenya Army for leading the team that handled this task. With those said, may God bless the Kenya Defense Forces. May God bless our great motherland, Kenya. It is now my honor and humble duty to invite Your Excellency to address your troops and the nation at large on this auspicious occasion. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. We can take our seats. Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Defense, Principal Secretary and staff, Chief of the Defense Forces, retired Chiefs of Defense Forces, Service Commanders, General Officers, retired General Officers and Service personnel, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pride and honor to join you today here at Moi Barracks, Eldoret, as we mark the Kenya Defense Forces Day. This occasion is a moment of deep national pride, a day when we pause as a nation to honor our gallant men and women in uniform, officers whose enduring courage and steadfast devotion to duty have safeguarded our sovereignty, upheld our security, and advanced our stability and prosperity. Today's celebrations, guided by the theme enhancing a soldier-centric approach towards mission readiness for national security and development, comes at a defining moment, capturing both the spirit of our times and the enduring call to place the soldier at the heart of our national security and development agenda. We are reminded that the true heart of our national defense lies not only in our weapons or technology, vital though they are, but in the courage, welfare, and the unwavering readiness of the Kenyan soldier. It is the soldier who stands as the living shield of our sovereignty, the steadfast pillar upon which our security progress and national destiny are built. At the core of our celebration today, ladies and gentlemen, is the recognition of the immense sacrifices made by our soldiers. Every soldier who dons the Kenyan uniform carries the hopes, safety, and dignity of millions of our citizens. They operate in punishing terrains, enduring long separations from their families, and face danger with extraordinary courage. We cannot forget our brave heroes and heroines who have paid the ultimate price in the line of duty, defending our borders, securing our communities from the threat of terrorism, and serving in peace support operations beyond our borders. Their memory is etched in the conscience of our republic. We owe an unending debt of gratitude to them and to their families, whose sacrifice continues to inspire our nation's resolve. As Commander-in-Chief, I solemnly reaffirm the government's resolute commitment to honoring their service through devoted care and support for their dependents. Ladies and gentlemen, mission readiness is measured by the strength of the men and women in uniform, their physical fitness, psychological resilience, moral grounding, and first, the welfare of the soldiers and their families. We have expanded healthcare in military facilities, accelerated housing projects across services, bases, and barracks, and enhanced family support programs. When a soldier has the comfort of knowing that family is safe and supported, they serve with sharper focus, greater courage, and unshakable resolve. Second, we are investing heavily in training and professional development. We have upgraded training facilities, integrated advanced simulation technologies, and deepened professional military education. Through collaboration with allied nations, our troops are now alongside the best, mastering both conventional and modern forms of warfare. Third, we are modernizing our equipment and technology. Bravery alone does not win battles. Preparedness does. The government has fast-tracked the acquisition and modernization of defense systems, improved mobility platforms, and strengthened cyber and intelligence capabilities. The battlefield is changing rapidly, and Kenya must always remain a step ahead of emerging threats. Fourth, we are reinforcing psychological and spiritual support. Mission readiness demands inner peace and strength as much as physical endurance. We are scaling up programs to address post-traumatic stress, build resilience, and provide moral guidance, recognizing that the mind and spirit of a soldier are as vital as their skill and strength. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kenya Defense Forces now stand as a pivotal crossroads in history. The world around us is transforming from cyber warfare and terrorism to violent extremism, climate-driven security risks, and transnational organized crime around us. Closer home, we continue to guard our borders, protect our seas, and confront threats to our peace and stability. In all this, the Kenya Defense Forces have shown exemplary mission readiness. Through operations such as Linda Nchi, contributions to the Africa Union Transition Mission in Somalia, and the humanitarian assistance across our counties during national disasters, our officers have demonstrated that readiness is not confined to the battlefield. It also extends to every sphere where the safety and dignity of Kenyans are at stake. Our approach must therefore remain dynamic, collaboration, and investing in rapid deployment capabilities. Distinguished guests, security and development are two sides of the same coin. Without security, there can be no sustainable development. And without development, insecurity finds fertile ground. The KDF, through their discipline and professionalism, continues to contribute immensely to our national development agenda. Fellow citizens, the story of KDF is the story of what is possible when Kenyans choose excellence over average, service over selfishness, and courage over comfort. The transformation of our nation depends on this very spirit, the willingness to think big, to believe in our own potential, and to reject the limits of the ordinary. I have said it before, I repeat it here today again, that we must reject mediocrity in all its forms. We must aim higher, work harder, and serve better. We must settle for nothing less than the very best. Kenya Defence Forces are our heroes and patriots who continue to serve our beloved country with unmatched efficiency, discipline, and commitment. The KDF has remained a shining symbol of professionalism and integrity, not only in protecting our sovereignty, but also in driving the very transformation of our nation. Across Kenya, the fingerprints of the KDF are everywhere. You have built roads that connect communities and open new frontiers of opportunity. You have supported the construction of hospitals and schools that give life and hope to our people. You have played a pivotal role in iconic infrastructure projects such as Talanda Stadium, embodying our belief in talent, excellence, and national pride. In the North Rift, your courage and discipline have restored peace and order, allowing families and businesses to thrive once again. Our soldiers have also been instrumental in disaster response, medical outreaches, and environmental conservation efforts, such as tree planting, all of which strengthen our national resilience and defense. We shall continue to harness the skills and expertise of the Kenya Defence Forces in nation-building projects, whether in housing, manufacturing, innovation, or national infrastructure. And I'm very proud that finally we will have the Ulinzi Construction Company that will have all the capabilities for us to have KDF undertake construction of roads, bridges, houses, especially in difficult areas of our nation. I have committed to the KDF fraternity that the government of Kenya is going to put at their disposal all the equipment necessary for us to realize this vision, because we want to establish bases in some of the difficult areas in Kenya, in Turkana, in West Pokot, in northern Kenya, and many other areas that are of necessity to be able to protect our country. We shall also continue to deepen defense cooperation with regional and international partners, strengthen our interoperability, and enhance intelligence gathering. These partnerships not only improve our mission readiness, but also elevate Kenya's role as a responsible and respected member of the international community. As President and Commander-in-Chief, I am proud of what you have achieved, not only because you serve with honor, but also because your work gives life to the government's vision of a transformed and prosperous Kenya. You are builders of the Kenya we dream of, a Kenya that is modern, united, secure, and full of possibility. To the men and women of the Kenya Defence Forces, your patriotism, discipline, and professionalism inspired this great republic. You remind us that Kenya's destiny will not be achieved by half measures, but by total dedication to duty and to one another. As I said, we must believe in God, we must believe in ourselves, and we must believe in our country. It is the ingredients that will inspire us to move this nation from a third world country to a first world country in our lifetime. With the example that has been set by the Kenya Defence Forces, it expands the horizon of possibilities that can be achieved by our nation, Kenya. KDF has served in the international community in the peacekeeping missions around the world with exceptional excellence. They remind us that excellence in our soldiers, in our military personnel, exists in every Kenyan. And therefore, we must never settle for the average or the ordinary. We must always work for the very best and the excellent. That is how we are going to move this country to the next level. As Commander-in-Chief, I thank you for standing tall for Kenya, for building, protecting, and transforming our nation with excellence and pride. As I donned this Commander-in-Chief uniform today, it reminded me of my early years as a student, as a pupil, actually, in Kamagut Primary School just next door. In 1979, when this base was set up, I was a standard 6 pupil. Today, with a lot of pride, I saw the choir from St. Mark, my village mates, sing here. And they were singing about the Commander-in-Chief. I don't know whether they knew who that was. And with, again, a lot of pride to see the development that has gone on in this institution and the great strides that have been made by not just the 9th Battalion, but the Kenya Defence Forces. Congratulations on all the positive steps that you are making to secure our nation. Once upon a time, I watched as a pupil, as there was training of soldiers around this compound. We saw them carry huge logs on their shoulders, go through what is making steps, positive steps. Ladies and gentlemen, the soldiers' mission is not theirs alone. It is ours collectively as a nation. Every citizen has a role in safeguarding peace and stability. Communities must work with our security agencies to identify and report threats. Civil institutions must complement military efforts through dialogue, education, and economic empowerment. Political leaders must guard against divisive rhetoric and instead strengthen national unity. Today, I call upon every Kenyan to stand firmly behind the Kenya Defence Forces. Let us accord them the respect, cooperation, and gratitude they so richly deserve. As we celebrate this year's KDF Day, let us remember that at the center of our national defense stands the soldier, courageous, resilient, and devoted. Our collective commitment as government and citizens is to ensure that every soldier is trained, equipped, supported, and honored. To every member of the Kenya Defence Forces, I say this: you are the shield and sword of our republic. You carry the hopes of generations, the pride of our people, and the dignity of our flag. To the families, and this morning I was reminded that soldiers enlist, families serve. To the families of our distinguished soldiers, therefore, receive our deepest gratitude for supporting these brave warriors throughout their journey of service to the nation and to humanity. I thank you all. Have a great KDF day. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais. Kinafuata kipindi cha sherehe za machweo ya jua, beating of the retreat by the KDF band. Bendi, tafadhali wapo mko tayari, uwanja ni wenu. Mheshimiwa Rais, ni zamu ya mkurugenzi wa muziki Jeshi la Wanaanga Luteni Steven Njuguna kuweza kuchukua usukani wa bendi hizi. Mheshimiwa Rais, kwa heshima naomba sote tusimame kwa ajili ya wimbo wa Injili, wimbo wa kushusha bendera zetu, wimbo wetu wa taifa na wimbo wa Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki. Hivi sasa mwelekezi mkuu wa bendi hizi Senior Sergeant Simon Masinde akija kumwomba kwa heshima rais idhini ya kuondoa bendi hizi uwanjani. Mheshimiwa Rais, naomba kwa heshima tuketi tafadhali. Anaondoka hivi sasa mkurugenzi wa muziki Jeshi la Wanaanga Luteni Steven Njuguna baada ya kutekeleza wajibu wake alasiri ya leo. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais kwa kuweza kupokea saluti hiyo kutoka kwa bendi za majeshi ya ulinzi. Mheshimiwa Rais, wanapoondoka nitaomba tuweze kuketi ili tuweze kupewa utaratibu wa picha ya kumbukumbu siku hii ya leo tarehe 14 Oktoba mwaka huu 2025 tuliweza kutekeleza na kusherehekea sherehe za siku ya KDF kikosi hiki cha 9 Barracks hapa Eldoret. Mheshimiwa Rais, utashuhudia ukiwa amiri jeshi mkuu kwamba kila kitu katika majeshi ya ulinzi hufanywa kwa mpango na kwa muda mfupi. Ndiposa Mheshimiwa Rais, tunazidi kushukuru majukumu ambayo umetupa ya kuweza kuendelea na ulinzi wa taifa na hali kadhalika kuhakikisha kwamba miundo misingi ya taifa letu la Kenya inazidi kuboreshwa.
Your Excellency, for our next part of the program, which will be transitioning to a commemorative photograph session, and I kindly request the Military Wives Association team led by the chairperson, Madam Grace Kahariri, to take up their position. I can see the seats already set. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, as we conclude today's memorable KDF Day celebrations, we reflect with pride on our rich heritage of service while embracing a future filled with promise and unwavering commitment. Thank you all for joining us in these celebrations, and we do pledge to continue protecting and serving our beloved nation with honor, dedication, and pride. Your Excellency, as we capture this historic moment, this photo session will serve as a lasting memory of today's celebration and the distinguished individuals who have graced us with their presence on this momentous occasion. As such, allow me to read to you the exposures as they will be following each other. Your Excellency, I now kindly request the Permanent Secretary for Defense, the Vice Chief of Defense Forces, the service commanders, the Vice Chancellor of the National Defense University, Kenya, the DIG, Kenya Police Service, retired General Tonje, retired General Kianga and retired General Opande, together with the General Officer commanding West Command, to take their seats on the photo session. Your Excellency, today's celebration honors the illustrious heritage and exemplary achievements and unwavering commitment of our esteemed Kenya Defence Forces. At this particular point, Your Excellency, I'll kindly request that you join into the photo session accompanied by the Cabinet Secretary for Defence and the Chief of Defence Forces. Your Excellency, please. May I kindly request the Military Wives Association Executive Committee members to join into the photo. Kindly request the Governor of Uasin Gishu County as well to join into the photo session. Welcome, sir. Your Excellency, that marks the end of the first exposure. I'll now kindly request the Military Wives Association Executive Committee, led by their chairperson, to kindly exit the photo session and into their vehicle to transit to the next session. Your Excellency, for the second exposure, it will be with retired generals. Your Excellency, for the third exposure, that concludes the second exposure, and I'll kindly request our retired distinguished generals to exit the photo session as they transit to the next part of the program. General Tonje Sir, General Kianga, and Lieutenant General Opande, you'll be sitting through the whole entire photo session. Yeah. For the next photo session, which is the third exposure, I'd like to request the current serving generals to join into the photo session. I would also like to request the regiment to be ready to join into the last photo session after concluding the third exposure.
We must interrogate this thing we call democracy. In Kenya, the people you call leaders, don't listen to them when they are in podiums in Nairobi. No, Listen to them when they are speaking in their mother tongue at funerals, when they are their true selves. They are bukusus,